Mopar people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justmoparjoe. The time's come to start planning the old big block swap. There she is. Into my A-body Barracuda. Let's talk it over. So if you're new to the channel, this is my 68 Barracuda that someone's filled in the marker lights on. Before I got it, I won the old No Name Nationals bracket contest with this, running a 722. So what I have here is the 408 that I used to have in my black truck. I would guess this engine has about 250 passes on it. And that's not even since the cam change. Since the cam change, it probably has 100. So I would guess it's at about half of its regular life. But I wanted to go ahead and start discussing the engine swap itself. So I am swapping in this 400. It's a stock stroke 400. I did an engine build series on. If you missed that, please check it out. You might like it. And I got my dyno date set for it as well. Coming up very soon. But I'm going to have to shove that into here. And one test that I wanted to do after this engine comes out, which should be very soon, is get a hanging scale and determine the weight difference between this cast iron headed. So these are Indy LAX heads by Racing Head Service that I've done some porting to, with 202 valves. Isky solid flat tabbet cam. I wonder if we could look down through here. I've got plenty of videos on this engine if you're interested. No, there's a baffle. Harlan short rocker arms. This has the 4-inch scat forged stroker crank in it, and the dish top, I believe they're Icon pistons. I have a video of that. But yeah, one test I wanted to do was see what the 400 weighs. It has Edelbrock aluminum heads, which are about half the weight of a standard 906 head. It's got this aluminum 440 source water pump housing and electric water pump versus these cast iron heads. This is just water pump drive motor here that I could just leave bolted on there if someone needed it. But yeah, I wanted to do a weight comparison between those two just to know, you know, how much am I actually adding weight to the front of this car. A lot of people say the big blocks, that's a low deck. I think it's listed online as maybe being 75 pounds more or something than this, but it's really hard to tell with some of the online measurements. But to do the big block swap, I've already planned. I've got a different aluminum radiator. It is up on top right somewhere. There we go, right there, for a big block. So it's just the Chinese eBay radiators. They always work great for me, and I can swap my electric fan over to it. So swapping that, and then headers. These are the fender well A-body headers that was under the 72 440 swinger. So if I'm using these, I'll need to cut. I don't want to cut out all this inner structure. I kind of want to leave that and just get the headers to where they need to be. So that might cause me to have to redo these brake lines, but I think it's going to work with this master cylinder. So if you got any experience with that, let me know. The other car actually has a manual brakes with a cast iron master cylinder that's chunkier than this one. So it'll be a tight fit, but having those fender well headers will be nice. And like I said, I've got the measurements from the other car to cut out and be able to put them on. And after I do that, I really had considered, see where this old funky yellow and stuff's coming back through here, repainting under the hood with purple again, just so when you pop the hood, you get a little nicer look, and I don't have to shoot this one black. I know how a lot of people are against that. So, but yeah, that was kind of my goal of the day, was kind of discuss where I need to start working on this. Engine mounts is going to be another thing, because I'm not really sure about this K-member. This might be a kind of a funky year model or something. I don't know if it was correct for this year or not. You can see my engine chain there. This is just chained down on the driver's side here to keep the mounts sturdy. But all that stuff's changing. What I might end up doing is running some elephant ears from the front down to that frame. I'll just see how it goes. I'd kind of like to make some mounts if I could. That would just go from the K-member up to where my mounts are, ears are on the block. I'll just study that, but I think as far as transmission, it's probably gonna be pretty tight back there, but that distributor will be out of the way, so that'll be nice. And I may have to ask Mr. John Cope what he thinks on hooking up the big block 727 mount in the rear. So maybe I'll ask Johnny Mopar. See my old muffler's hanging down there. But yeah, as you can kind of see, this car's been setting since, I think, late October, something like that. And there's not a drop of anything under it. Engine related, looks like my transmission might have had a little bit of something there, but that's exciting stuff. So I'm going to check out for the cross member. I do have a good 727 for a big block to stick into this, so that'll be a nice change. A little different converter as well. So I'd like to see what the 400 does. What the 400 does on that dyno before planning the converter totally. I might have the perfect converter for it, but then again, I may need to get it shipped off to Mr. Mike Iben at Top Line Converters. So either way, I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all have any questions, definitely feel free to email me. And that would be great. So we'll call this part 1 of our big block swap plan. If you have any comments on making the big block swap easier, please put those in the comments of this video underneath it. Anything else, feel free to email me. And I appreciate y'all watching.